there's a lot of ugly in the world, and I want someone to be able to pick up one of my books and just find a little bit of brightness in life.
Great.
That's great.
Laugh at
That is-
something. You know, we all have different voices when we write. If everything sounded the same, then what would be the point?
Exactly.
That's a great point.
A lot of people ask me about writing a book, and I tell them first you have to put your butt in your seat and just write the thing, because you waste so much time wondering if you're good enough.
Yep.
That's time that you should be spending writing.
When I was 5, I lived with my mother and father and older brother.
At least I could draw, I told myself.
It was just me, my cats, and my imagination.
Created protective cover, just enough where he could keep his underwear on.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the In Other Words podcast. I'm Pam, and these are my co-hosts, Jan Thorpe, Karen Sketch, and Val Gale. And we're really excited for a couple of different reasons tonight. First off, it's the first show of our second season, so yay us! Woohoo! And also, we have with us tonight author Michelle Lynn Ross. We're super excited about that. She's the author of lighthearted, closed-door rom-coms set in the fictional town of Fawn Creek, Kansas, and her books deliver cozy small-town charm with Hallmark vibes. So welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome. And just to get us started out, tell us a little bit about how you got started writing.
Well, I've been, a lifelong reader. I've loved to read as soon as I knew how to read. I've loved to do it, just all throughout the years. And I always thought maybe one day I'll write a book. When I was elementary school, junior high, I wrote poetry and things like that, and had a couple of blogs over the years, but never really sat down to write a book. Then a couple of years ago, I did a part-time job, just a temporary thing. And once that was over, I said, okay, this is my chance. I am a stay-at-home mom. Let's just give it a try and see what happens. And life's just been crazy since then.
That's so cool. So what inspires you when you start to write?
It could be, anything. Like, in Signed, Sealed, Delivered. So there was a time that the UPS guy came to deliver a package, and I opened the door and I had a bag of trash in my hands, and there was ranch dressing all down the side of it. And he's like trying to hand me a box, and he's trying to take the trash for me. And I'm like, no, you don't want this. It's disgusting. And he left, and I was like, that would be such a cute meet cute in a book. Like, and then it happened, and I wrote it into Signed, Sealed, Delivered. So it's just random things that happen that I'll say, I might use that later.
Wow.
I think it's great. Also, I think at that, all of us at some very young age, there was that, whatever you want to call it, imprint on the brain. I'm going to write a book. And you think, oh, it's meaningless. Who says that and goes,
Right.
falls through. But it's amazing how many writers have that story, that when there was some point very early on, they said, I'm going to write a book. And then, wow, it's like it's a little seed that does grow.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And, I think that, again, as writers, it's the everyday stuff that we use.
Definitely the ordinary moments. Take ordinary moments and you flesh them out into more ordinary moments, but then you tie it all together, because tension is really, really great, to work with in writing, and that's what builds the arc and all that kind of stuff. Do you like study characters? Do you go out, like I'll go out, in the park, and I'll watch people like walk, and I'll watch what people are doing, and I love people watching because it really helps with physicality of characters and also getting to their emotional imprint. Is that something that you do, or how do you study your characters?
Well, now with this, so my first series that I did, all of the women that are main characters have a little bit of me in them.
Yep.
So the very first book, she wanted to be a bookstore owner, and that kind of went off of this whole thing, my husband and I talking about buying a building and opening a bookstore, and if we had $1 bazillion to do that. And so each of those characters took on just a part of me, like the one that ran the daycare. I had a home daycare years ago. This new series that I'm working on, actually, she's inspired by Jess from New Girl.
Oh, nice.
I was watching one day and I was like, you know what? I love her. She's clumsy and dorky and crafty and fun. I would love to make a character that's kind of like her to put in this series. So that's what I'm working with right now.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Do you write with an outline, or you write by the seat of your pants? How do you do it? I am too.
Yeah, me too. I can't do an outline. I've
I
been
can't do
told
an
I
outline.
can't
I'm all over the place.
do it. Yeah.
So you add the human element to your characters, which is fantastic. You make them multifaceted.
Yes.
Because Jan and I were having a conversation about, you know, one-dimensional characters just don't do it. You want to have somebody layered that has a bunch of stuff going on with them. You know, that's what makes it interesting. Narcissistic behavior, anxiety disorder, you know, maybe even an addict, but they're a good person. You know, you want to root for them. And I think that's
Right.
what's
People are complicated. People are.
People are complicated.
So, yeah. And again, as writers, we kind of get to, for my first book, I had the main character be based, she is a psychotherapist, and she's divorced and she has a boyfriend. So I'm thinking of my own husband. I'm making her boyfriend sort of, but he can cook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Darn it, Larry.
Ask me, isn't that like Larry? Isn't Richard? His name is Richard, the character. Isn't he like Larry? He says, well, but he can cook.
Yeah, that's hysterical. Yes.
Kitchen too.
That's awesome.
You add things to your characters that you wish some people in your life knew how to do. At 100%, that's hilarious. Yes.
Yeah, and you can also take a person that drives you nuts too,
Oh,
and throw them in as a character.
And then you can kill them, or
Come on, yeah,
do whatever you need to do.
take them out.
Yeah.
That's
So when do you write? Do you have to set aside a certain time or a day or time of day or?
I am really just trying to work it into the nooks and crannies of my day. Try to at least sit down for an hour, hour and a half. If I can get 1,000 words down, then I'm good.
That's crazy good. Crazy good.
Yeah.
But
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think, I got it's got to be quiet. It's
Yeah,
gotta
everything
be
has to be
certain-
perfect.
Yeah,
and
everything.
forget
I
it.
got to have
Not
the
going to
juice and but it's not always that way.
Mm-mm.
I
Yeah.
actually write better. I did a lot of substitute teaching last year. So on my lunch break, I would have an hour and I'm like, okay, this is my writing time for the day. And
I love it.
distracted. So I would just pound the words out and I'm like, okay, I worked and I wrote today. So felt very accomplished.
That's a win-win.
kidding.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I struggle some days to write 250 words. I'm not even freaking kidding you. I'll be sitting there going, what is going on? And I think we try to get that perfect sentence. And Jan and I are in a writing group together. And I'm learning not to, because you can go back and you can revise and fix it. I'm just trying to get the thought out, and sometimes it has to be mediocre. And then you come back and then you can fluff it out. Is that something that you do too? And flesh it out?
Oh yes. Like I try to get my first draft just down on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I am going through edits and I just finished chapter 3, like going through for the first time to really fluff things out. And there's been a lot of like, what even was this? I got the words down on paper.
Exactly.
But like, what is that?
Yeah, well, isn't editing? I was editing today too. I'm editing a first chapter of my 4th book, And I'm thinking when I wrote that chapter, it was a long time ago, and I think, oh my God, it's a whole different type of writing. And when you're rewriting what you wrote, and oh my God, and I spent a long time today just on the first paragraph, and it still doesn't, it isn't quite right. So but I was thinking today, it's a different kind of writing, editing your own stuff.
It is.
Because you're thinking, what was I thinking?
Yeah, and you're learning your characters too.
Yeah,
You know, I sometimes don't get my speed into my character until I'm in my second, third revision, where I really, really understand my character.
Yes.
And you give them a life of their own, because everybody has sprinkles of ourselves in all of our characters. But once you start letting them take on their own facade and their own being and stuff like that, you know, they become more complex, and then you can add more stuff to it in the revision process. So that's why I enjoy revision so much. It's my favorite part of it. Yeah. What's your favorite part of, you think, writing, Michelle?
Yeah, I think probably that first round of revisions, when I'm going through and I'm seeing the groundwork that I laid.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one, I have not written this one as quickly as I usually do. I wanted to have my first draft done before Christmas so I could just take Christmas off, and I didn't do that. So it's been a long time since I wrote the first 3 chapters, and I've been going through the first 3 chapters the last 2 days, and I'm like, oh, nope, my characters are way different than they were a month and a half, 2 months ago when I started writing them. So it's I don't know, it's fun for me to see where they started compared to, you know, last week when I finished this draft of, oh, they're different people. I need to go change this.
That's kind of cool though, because now you have a deeper understanding of them by the time you reach the end of the story.
That's true. That's true. You're in a much better position to begin and introduce them than you were when you first introduced them, where you don't know who they are and what's going to happen.
Right. It's like a skeleton, and then you start slowly putting flesh on them.
Yeah.
Literally, you start building a person, you know, and so what are some of your favorite part? Like, do you like I love characterization. Jan's phenomenal at setting. I mean, everybody does so many things in this group well, but I love characterization. That's my favorite thing about writing. Setting, not too much. I just kind of, you know, I wish I could write setting like Jan, but I'm learning. What are your favorite, like, areas you think that you strive in, and areas that you think you need to work on?
Well, setting has been my favorite part, just because it has been not really based on, but inspired by, Fawn Creek is inspired by my hometown where Pam and I live. So a lot of that is just really thinking about what makes this place charming, or how could it be charming if it was just a little bit different, or that kind of thing. The character development, it takes me a few rounds of editing before I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I like these people now.
Right.
That first time that my first novel, I read through it the first time and I was like, wow, I do not like this main female character. She is a brat. Like, I couldn't stand her. And I was like, she's supposed to be likable, and I had to like really go back and fix her a lot. She was snarky, but not in a very good way.
Yeah, I know, it's so interesting. I had to do that in my first book. I had a very sort of evil male character, but as I was writing it, I grew to care about him more. And then I had to rewrite his whole character. Because isn't it interesting? We create these characters and we get to know them. And then they get inside us. And then you go, wait a minute, you know, he's actually better than that. Or he's so bad that he's just one dimensional. So that's, you know,
I think villains are fun to write, in that I love writing villains in my story, because right, Jan, you try to give them at least one redeemable quality.
You have to.
Get your readers to end up liking the villain at the end of the story,
Sure.
or have some compassion for them because you
Yeah.
see yourself in them.
Yeah.
You see how they're struggling. You
Right.
see that they really are a good person deep down, but maybe they just don't have the tools. They were brought up in an environment where they just don't have the tools,
Oh,
but they
yeah.
want to.
It's usually the case.
So, do you like writing like villain characters?
Sometimes, I maybe pull them from people that I know too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That's-
Absolutely.
That's the stinky part. I can only imagine because you're basing it loosely on a hometown. So, and our town's not very big.
Oh, it's
So, yeah, it would be, yeah, I could see how it could get a little sticky sometimes.
Yeah.
You can't write them exactly like you want to.
absolutely. I have to pull back a little bit and go, okay, I don't want this person on my doorstep.
They're going to figure it out. That's funny. But on the other hand, I've heard a lot of people say, like, I know Jess loves the fact that Nightmare on Bradley made an appearance, and the libraries in there, different things that we all are like, oh, we know this place, we can really, really connect with it. And I think that's cool.
It's been a lot of fun for me. That's probably what gave me the confidence to keep going. Is I was like, okay, this helped me create a story that people will actually want to read because there's local references in it.
Yeah.
And when I published my first one, I was like, here we go. Either it'll do good or it'll do bad. And then I got a lot of good feedback, and a lot of the feedback was, I love seeing all the local places that some aren't there anymore. And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that helped me even just finish the first series so that I can look at it and say, I can do this. This is something that I can actually sit down and do instead of talking myself out of it 15 times.
Right.
Yes, you can. That is so fascinating because we all love movies that are set in a place that we're
Right.
familiar with,
Yeah.
right?
It is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really cool. And while you're talking about that, I'm going to bring your books up so we can take a look at them and you can tell us a little bit about them. There we go. I love your covers too.
Yeah, we love your covers. We were looking at them.
We
Great.
did. How do you come up with your covers? What kind of inspiration do you use?
Well, when I first started this one, it was really just, I was trying to go for classic rom-com vibes. So like bright colors and the faceless characters, and just kind of trying to tell a story. So Tyler has a stack of books and coffee in front of her, and because she's a book girl. But just a lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
With all of these, but I make them all myself too.
That was
You
my next
do.
question. That's
Yes.
amazing.
In Canva.
Canvas.
So there was also a lot of what is available to me, because I wish I could draw, but I can't. If I could draw, I would be unstoppable. So
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about, this is the first book in the Fawn Creek series, is that right? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
This is the first one. So this story is about Tyler up in Fawn Creek, and like many people that grew up in a small town, she just could not wait to get out of town. So after she graduated, she moved away. She only came back to visit. She would never live in that tiny little town again.
Like we all
until she
said.
was totally wrong. She had to, yes. She had been in a long-term relationship. It ended, so she ended up homeless and moving back home to just kind of try to get her stuff together. She inherited her grandma's house and said, okay, I'm going to fix this place up. I'm going to sell it, and I'm getting back out. And life had other plans for her. And she found out that home is not that bad after all.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
Very good too.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely. I like this too. I can't believe you did these. I thought you had someone else do your covers. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
that's what one would assume. But you do these. This is
Yep.
incredible. It's
Thank
great.
you. So this one is
Yeah, they're great.
So Avery, the main female character in this book, is the best friend of Tyler from the last book. So the whole series just follows a close-knit friend group. She is a single mom, and she is determined to make it on her own. So she tries her hand at being a content creator, not an influencer. And things end up paying off for her and get a little crazy. She ends up, as you can see, with a giant box of samples on her porch that she has to make videos for in like 3 days. And it's also a friends to lovers. Her friend Derek is a local police officer, and they end up in a relationship together.
I love the ring camera. That's so cool.
Yeah, I do too.
Something else I like that you do and is like on the spines, you incorporate one, little picture in each. That's neat. That's a good idea.
It is.
So you write about animals too? We all have animals in our book. I
Yeah,
do
we do.
cats.
Right.
Yeah, we have his pet. This one is about Madison, and she is Avery's babysitter. So the girl from the previous book. And she accidentally and literally falls into bed with Avery's brother.
Love it.
Wedding in Mexico. She is newly divorced, so it's her starting her life over with Brian, who has just gotten out of the military and moved back home to start his second half of his life. That one's probably, I don't know. My first one should be my favorite, but I just really love this one. It has a special place.
I love my third book the best out of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
seriously. So that's cool. Is this like not young adult? Is this like mature adult? What's the age group you're?
So all
trying
the
to target?
characters are in their mid to late 20s.
Okay.
But I have a lot of teenage girl readers. They're all closed door romance. So I have a lot of moms that appreciate that too, because I have a lot of closed door readers or a lot of young readers. But yeah, like my YA audience loves them. I think I'm probably maybe gonna try to dip my toe into YA at some point.
You totally should.
Oh yeah.
I think
You totally should. That would be really, really cool. This is the one I haven't got to read yet. I'm excited.
So this is Ava. She is the real estate agent that is introduced in the first book. And then she's kind of just sprinkled throughout the rest of the books. But I knew that she needed to have her happily ever after too. She's the one that has the moment with the UPS guy when he brings the box and she's got ranch dressing dripping all over the place. She's a widow. She was a teen mom, and her daughter's father passed away when she was a baby. He is also a single dad, so it's blending of two families. And then at the end of this book, it just kind of ties everybody up in a neat little bow. So everyone that had been introduced already has their happily ever after.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then you did write a novella as well.
Yes.
That we were talking about. I love the colors of
Yeah,
this.
I love this book cover.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So this one takes place in Fawn Creek, but totally different characters. And it is a story about Reagan, who divorced, moved away, ended up moving back with her 2 kids. And she ran into her high school boyfriend in the pickle line the pickle aisle at the grocery store.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it's a second chance romance, and it's a little later in life. She's late 30s.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
Nice.
And then you kind of branched out a little bit, which I love this, and made a coloring book to go with Fawn Creek.
That's great.
it was so fun. So fun. And yeah, I just made it in Canva using elements that I use to make my covers.
Cool.
And yeah, it was just a fun little thing to
Yeah.
add to my collection, you know.
And you have other things too, don't you? Like postcards, and I know you have stickers of the prairie dogs.
Yes. So I had postcards made on Canva for the Fawn Creek series so that I could start when someone orders them from me on my website and I send out signed copies. I can send out that postcard with it too. I always wrote a thank you note whenever someone ordered anyway, so I figured that way it would be something just a little special.
Absolutely.
And then I
That's
tried
nice.
to make some kind of sticker design that goes with whatever book I'm putting out at the time. So like the Christmas novella, there's one that says we go together like pickles and popcorn because that's what
That's great.
snack on. And yeah, the Fawn Creek Prairie Dogs, that's the school mascot. And so I have that as just like I made the mascot logo. It
I
has
don't-
a sticker.
I know I have, yeah, this is of your booth at a local market. And I wish I had it bigger, but you can kind of see right here. It's a Fawn Creek Prairie Dog shirt. So
Yep.
cute.
That's great.
It's
That's great.
it's perfect.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And I never thought that my readers would want anything like that, but I actually have people reach out to me and say, "Hey, can you make me a sweatshirt with a Fawn Creek Prairie Dog on it?" And I'm like, "Sure. I mean, if that's something you want, I will do that." And so it's been fun to see people just embrace and enjoy it and get the same kind of joy out of reading the stories that I do out of writing them.
Mhm.
How do you sell your books that you get to put a personalized message in there?
I have a website that people can just order directly from my Square store, and I send them signed copies, which, you know, if you order from, you know, online,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting free shipping, but it's not personalized. So
No.
I try to throw in little personalized things because you are paying for shipping
Oh, absolutely.
from me.
S-
So I
Nice.
want to try to
Yeah.
make it, you know, more than just a book showing up in a padded envelope.
Yeah.
I try to
Mhm.
Oh, I
wrap
think that
put stickers and bookmarks and all the fun things to make it feel like it's worth it for people to order directly from me.
Sure.
Nice.
so how are your books available on your website and
On my
and where
website,
else?
on Amazon.
So you are on.
Yes.
Mhm.
They are also available on bookshop.org. You could order them from Walmart. I noticed that they are on there.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah, they
great.
have different covers. So initially when I published my book, I thought no bookstore is ever going to want these. I just published them through Amazon. I didn't go through Ingram and all of the other channels. Well, after that, we had a local bookstore open and they did want my books.
That's
Nice.
really cool. That
Yeah.
is really cool.
You know, Michelle, it sounds like you are I mean, in other words, you're self-taught.
Yes.
See,
That's
over and
wonderful.
over, to me, the writers who are self-taught, you guys are just amazing. I am too. But I used to think, oh dear, I should have gone to, gotten some sort of credential. But I really think the writers who are self-taught have a certain kind of freedom that that others don't quite have.
I think so. I did go to one really big conference, but while I was writing my first book.
Yeah.
And it was a romance writer conference. And I learned a lot while I was still drafting that first book.
Yeah.
And met a lot of really valuable just connections, took a lot of classes, but for the most part, it has just been me reading everything that I can find and watching every TikTok and YouTube and reading every article, trying to figure out the best way to do it.
Well, it shows.
It does. It's really cool. And I'm so jealous because last year you went to a conference, I think it was in Oklahoma City, and Michelle happened to post something on Facebook. Yeah, I got to see this guy speak. His name's Jim Butcher. I'm going to have to check his books out. And I'm like, oh my God, that's like my favorite author ever. I didn't even know he was going to be
the only
there.
person in the room that didn't know.
Oh, no. In fact, his latest book actually came out today. 12 Months came out today.
What's his name?
Jim Butcher.
Okay.
Yeah, Dresden Files is. He's got a few. He's got Cinder Spires and a couple of other ones, but Dresden Files is my favorite.
Yeah, if you ever have the opportunity to listen to Jim talk about his story, like I was bawling. I didn't know the guy at all. I had never heard of him, and I'm just crying into my little,
Wow.
into my plate while I'm listening to him talk because he was so inspiring. Just incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. So
For
yeah,
sure.
totally impressed with him. In fact, I can't remember her name. Her name's Debbie, the one that he learned from. Can't think of her name. But I bought her book after I read something on his website, and it's fantastic because I
Yeah.
do like fantasy. So yeah, I was like all about that. Very cool though.
Yeah.
Michelle, what advice would you have for younger writers coming into this? And, a lot of people, they get afraid of rejection and they get afraid of being judged and this, that, and this, or that their work's not good enough. And as well as I do as being a writer, I queried 400 agents to try to do it traditionally. And I, was given 390 no's,
Right.
and it just makes you want to work harder and hone your craft. And you have to learn all these areas. Like for me, marketing and some of the technical aspects of writing is what I struggle with. I just want to write, And so what advice would you have for younger writers trying to be debut authors, or just what advice could you give them on this journey?
I mean, a lot of people ask me about writing a book, and I tell them first you have to put your butt in your seat and just write the thing, because you waste so much time wondering if you're good enough.
Yep.
That's time that you should be spending writing. Write words and read the words, and find someone that you trust to read them after you've edited them several times.
Exactly. You get to read it, but find someone you trust.
Yes.
I love that. I think that's exactly right. Yeah.
Try it. Sit down
Just
and put
do
in
it.
work, and you're never gonna know if you're so caught up on should I or shouldn't I, or am I good enough. Just sit down and work on it.
I don't even like to look at it as failures. It's like people's like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to fail. Some of my best work has come from me having to redo it over and over again and trusting myself. And it's not a failure. It's just another stepping stone into what you can create and what pushing you and raising the bar higher and higher on yourself. And I think that's really important. For sure. And especially with people that don't learn the normal way, like me with my dyslexia, and like I just have issues with stuff, and you're right. It's about putting your butt in the chair and writing and doing it.
Yes.
100%.
That's the first thing, determination,
Yes. That first conference I went to, I met a couple of girls that I have become really close with, where we all write romance. We write different things. Two of us write closed door, the other one writes dark romance, but we've all been learning the thing together. None of us had a book finished when we met. And one of those girls, she is an incredible writer. Her voice is just beautiful. Like it's awe-inspiring. So then I would read something that she wrote, and I would go back to what I was writing, and I'm like, garbage. Never mind. I'm not doing this.
That's the hardest thing to do, is to not compare yourself to anybody else, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And, we all have different voices when we write. If everything sounded the same, then what would be the point?
Exactly.
Well, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Exactly.
There's some voices that I do not love to read. They're probably still great books, but I'm like, I can't.
I know.
But I'm
For
sure
sure.
people like that about me too, and that's okay
Mhm,
because
mhm.
there's got to be millions of books out there because I'm going to read at
That's
least like
exactly right. That
50
we're not
year.
in competition because we're all different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. Are there any like specific author tools that you really resonate with that you really like to use?
I love Readsy. I swear by it. I love that it's free and that it is online. So if
Yeah.
I am somewhere with and all I have is my phone, I don't really want to write a whole lot like this, but I can if I need
Yeah.
to. I'm
Mhm.
stuck waiting for a kid to get out of a class or whatever. Um, I've written all of my books with Readsy, and I have a lot of people that are like, "Oh, you need to get Atticus, and you need," and I'm like, "But Readsy's free, and I love it, and I know how to
Yeah.
use it, and I've written, 5.5 books with it now, so I'm probably just gonna keep using it."
Yeah, it kind of works for you for sure, huh? That's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, you utilize what works for you, because it might not work for the other person,
Right.
so stick with what you know. That doesn't mean you can't expand out and learn new things, but I really think, when you use what you know, because the goal of all of it is just to get words down. So use what
Mhm.
works for you,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because
For
there's a
sure.
lot of bells and whistles of stuff you can use, tons of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
you know.
And I know me, I'll get wrapped up in learning something and then I'm not writing if I'm reading or if
Mhm.
I'm trying to learn something new. It's
Yeah.
time that I setting putting words on paper.
Yeah.
So
I'm constantly down rabbit holes. I can't believe I get anything done ever.
Well, that's part of, doing the background. I mean, even you want to put one little thing in and you find yourself, 2 hours later, you've been researching one little thing
Mhm.
and you got to get back to the writing. And
Yes.
sometimes it's not even valuable,
Right.
it doesn't work, but
Mm-hmm. That's
But you
the
got to
secret.
do it.
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly. You got to get it out of your system, if nothing else.
Mhm.
do. Yeah, I know.
And you mentioned that you're writing a new series now. Is this one in any way related to Fawn Creek, or is it a totally separate world?
it is still in Fawn Creek, but
Cool.
it is faculty members of the high school. So it's Fawn
Oh,
Creek.
wow.
That's
And
cool.
it starts with the new high school librarian. She's the one that's inspired by Jess from New Girl. So she's dorky and loves bright colors and has the big glasses.
Perfect.
And she's crafty and fun. And she took the job in Fawn Creek on a whim and didn't know anyone, had never been to Kansas. She's actually from Iowa. And she ends
That's
up
right.
falling for the high school PE teacher and football coach. So it's been a lot
Perfect.
of fun to write
That
the story.
sounds like it.
Love it. That is such a great idea. I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait.
What are some authors that you admire, some of their work, and that like help inspire you and give you ideas, or stuff like that? Is there any like certain authors that you read that
Yes.
help you with research?
So people are very torn on her, but I love Colleen Hoover so much. She actually is the reason why I got back into reading in the first place. I had been in such just a slump with. I didn't like anything I picked up. I go to the library, I check out a book, I bring it home. I would read maybe 2 pages, and I'm like, and I take it back. And then I read all of her books in one summer. Like I
Nice.
just 20
Yeah.
something books. Um, from there, I found Emily Henry. I love her. Lucy
great.
Score. Abby Jimenez. I can't ever say her name right.
Jimenez. Yeah.
Yes. I love Abby. I would love to be Abby when I grow up. She's so fun, and her characters are amazing.
Awesome.
She has a lot of depth with her characters.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah. Sophie Kinsella raised me when I was going through my divorce in my early 20s. I was married before, and I couldn't afford TV, and I couldn't afford to take my kids to go do things. So we would go to the Caney Library and we would check out books, and I would just
It's great.
Sophie Kinsella. Every Sophie book they had, I flew right through it.
That's awesome. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's great to find an author who's written a lot, and then you get to read all the books.
Yes.
Everybody thinks, the most important things cost money. And I'm going to tell you what, some of the best times I've ever had in my life, I didn't have a dime in my pocket.
Yeah.
And so I love that you taking
Yeah.
your kids to the library, because I was a library kid as well. I was always in the library trying to do research on, gay terminology and gay stuff, because it was like the secret society thing. So I was in the library looking up stuff, and trying to understand. If you could have one message from your books that you're trying to convey to the reader, one important message that you're trying to show them to understand, what do you think it would be?
Honestly, my biggest thing is this real world. It sucks. It's sad, and there's a lot of ugly in the world, and I want someone to be able to pick up one of my books and just find a little bit of brightness in life.
Great.
That's great.
Laugh at
Yes.
something, get away from all of the just ick that we're dealing with, and just have a reason to smile, even if it's just for a couple of hours while they're reading a book.
Love it.
And to remind people that there is another way here.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
don't have to be these divided, mean people with each other. We can treat each other better than that.
It's nice to think that somewhere out there in this big world, there's this little place where,
Absolutely.
it's not 100% idyllic, but it is at the same time. It's somewhere that you want to be and somewhere you would love to live. And yeah, it's a great escape.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's intentional, but your covers, because they have no faces, makes you able to put yourself in that
Yeah,
that character, I think.
very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not love covers that have real people on them.
Yeah.
Because that's a part of reading the story is you
Exactly.
might imagine
I love
yourself
that.
character. So
Mhm.
yeah, that definitely is a part of it. I want people to be able to imagine what these people look like.
Right.
Not what
And they've
I
got such a
do.
clean look to them too, the way you have them set up. I really like that too.
Yeah.
And I was telling these guys before you came on that I was like, see the goose on the spine? She has a porch goose, and it's the coolest thing. What's her name? Reba Quackentire?
The Quackentire, yes.
That's great.
It's the best.
And she happened because my science teacher in 9th grade had a porch goose. And while I was writing that first book, she came to mind. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bring her porch goose into this. And I did. And then I was like, oh no, now I need a porch goose. So I had to go back.
Yeah.
And my husband's
so cool.
just like so concerned.
He's a good guy.
Animals in books are very important, I think. I love having cats in my book. I think, they really are companions. They love you unconditionally. They bring a whole different fun element to it. And I think that's wonderful. A porch goose. That's great.
It really is.
It's super
It
good.
is.
Do you have any cats?
I don't. We had both a dog and a cat, and they both passed away within about a year of each other. So
Oh dear.
we are just living the no
Mhm.
big pet life in this house right now because we were traveling a lot last year. We do have a pet axolotl, which I didn't even know was a real thing. I thought it was just like a Pokemon character when my daughter asked for one, but its name is Marshmallow, and it is in the Christmas novella. and that's about
He's
all.
pretty cute, actually.
What is it? I've never heard. What is it?
It's
axolotl?
kind of like a salamander.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It lives in water all the time. It's pink. and my daughter has it in her room, so
It's very
it's
cute.
really funny.
It's really cool.
It is.
Jan had an editor that told her the animals in her books were nobody liked them,
Nobody cared.
so she
Nobody
got to
cares.
get
Get rid of the dogs. Nobody cares.
yeah,
That's not
so she
true.
had to get rid of that editor. But you know,
Exactly.
I have to laugh because they make animals are characters.
They
Absolutely.
are. Oh, mine are definitely. Yeah,
Yes.
They can really add a lot to a story too.
they
They
can. They can.
I want to
Oh
make sure that we get
boy,
their upcoming shows and signings in too.
Wow, you're doing well.
gosh, Michelle, I'm
I
so
Look at you.
inspired.
Yeah.
You've done
Thank
it
you.
all.
I actually have at least one craft show or book signing booked for all of 2026.
Nice.
Wow.
At least one. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy year. But I'm kind of branching out, getting a little bit further from home. Once I have a release date for this new book, I'll probably be getting with the library to do a signing on it in my home library. But I'm trying to get out and meet people a little bit further that haven't heard of me yet, because everybody can use a little small town romance in their life.
Absolutely.
That's great.
I love that title, Single in a Small Town. I mean, that's so funny.
It is. Yeah.
It's really
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, that's
How did
very
you
good.
market this kind of
You
stuff
know
in your
that's going to
research?
be a funny book.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could say that I was like really, really good at marketing, because I could definitely be better. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook probably way more than I should be. I should be writing about 75% of the time that I'm on Facebook. But I've made a lot of connections through social media, and then these craft shows are my bread and butter. Like, that's
Wow.
how I get out and meet new people. The big author events are fun because I can meet other authors, but the craft shows are where I'm meeting the real people that live in the town and maybe weren't expecting for an author to be at their little Christmas
Mhm.
craft show. And it's where I meet a lot of new readers that way.
That's
Oh my
great.
God, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's huge. We'll make sure that we get this. I will probably, if you're okay with it, grab your flyer for your upcoming shows and put it on our page when we release your episode too.
Oh, what are you working on now, and what do you foresee yourself doing in the future, and what would you like to what future stories do you think you want to tell? You want to keep doing what you're doing and keep doing the small town vibe, or are you branching out into other stuff?
Probably gonna keep with this for a little bit, because every time I think, oh, I'll wrap this up, new people pop up and they need stories. So I have covers made for 5 books in this next series. The faculty series. We'll see how it really irons out, but I made all of the covers, so I mean, that's the hard part, right? I just have to write the
Yeah.
Make the cover, you got to write the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's done. So
Yeah.
But I've introduced some teenagers already in my books, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe try just a little bit of YA based on
perfect.
the teenagers that have been introduced. I have ideas for kids books, but I can't draw, so that has really stopped me from there. And then I have ideas of building new fake towns in other places, a workplace romance that I really want to work on too, but I can't do more than one at a time. I have tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
hard.
I have a
Yeah.
friend that she's a full-time author, and she shared her block scheduling with me, and she said that she writes on what is paying the bills for X amount of time every day, and then she leaves herself an hour in the afternoon to write something fun. So I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. I cannot do that. No. I,
Sounds good in theory.
That would be a challenge, I would think.
I tried. It didn't work. So
Oh my gosh.
It looks like trilogies, I just write standalones, but at any point in any of my novels, and I think you too, Jan, Jan she has some of the same characters, right? But I just write standalones, but I'm telling you, trilogies, that's the way to snag readers and customers and stuff like that. It's really smart.
Yeah,
you know?
it is.
So you do enjoy writing trilogies? Do you like?
Yeah. This one I'm working on, I already know the next main female character. It's the girl that befriends the librarian when she moves to town. And she is black cat, so she's sarcastic and all black, and she's a high school English teacher, and the kids love her even though she is dry and sarcastic. And yes,
Wait.
Well, you've definitely found a niche, and you
Yeah.
make it look so easy.
Oh,
You do
well,
make it
thank
look so.
you.
I know it was a long time coming to get on
Yeah.
the path, but
Yeah.
Thank you.
you're unstoppable.
You have to go through a million things of not knowing what to do because I I remember when I first started writing books. Well, I've always been a writer, but I had to work and put food on the table. But the last like 10 to 15 years, I've really delved into it. And it's like I had to go through so many of doing it wrong to figure out kind of how to do it right. So many things that I didn't know how to do. And I
Right.
think people get this image of we're just in there writing and just, which we are. But it's like so much stuff that you got to learn how to frickin' do to do it. You have to learn the business.
Well, that first book that like I talked about, I published everything just directly on Amazon. I didn't go through Ingram. I didn't buy my own ISBNs. I used Amazon ISBNs.
Right.
Had I known that this would
Right.
actually be something, I would have done it the right way in the first place.
Mhm.
But I had to learn it. And
Yeah.
I had to learn
Yeah.
that I needed to make all my covers at one time, like I did for this next series, so that I can have an idea of what they're going to look like next to each other.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
that
That's important.
very first book I
Yeah.
wrote, I rewrote it it took me maybe a year and a half. I rewrote it 7 times, and it was a completely different story when I started. And then I went, oh, you know what? I want this to be a small town. I don't want it to just be a random town in Oklahoma. I want to write what I know. And I
Right.
think that's what really
Right.
opened the doors up for me, is when I started focusing on what I knew and what I was familiar with.
Right.
When it really started flowing and it came
Yeah.
together.
That's very true. I think you should write what you know. And that's one of the first things that, I was asking literary agents, some of them give you feedback, a lot of them don't. But the ones that gave me feedback, I just, gravitated. Please tell me, what to do and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, they said, write what you know.
Yeah.
But in a way, all writers, whatever you choose to write, it's kind of what you know in a way. Yeah.
But Jan, you've gone places to make sure the scene works.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like I said, Jan's books and her settings are just fantastic. And I'm so jealous of people that can, it's amazing to me how people just incorporate setting, because that's like, I do my character and then I kind of incorporate the setting in with the character. I mean, we all do that. I don't have my setting usually in mind when I start. It's my character and then I adapt it to it. I remember I was having trouble writing a scene one time, and Carol, our editor, Jan and I's teacher in our creative writing class, was like, well, where's it at? And I'm like, well, it's in a barn. And she's like, well, what would this scene was in a barn, and she's like, well, what do you have around you in a barn? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
Right.
Pitchforks, gardening tools, ropes, animals. I mean, seriously.
Oh, that's fun.
And then you incorporate that stuff in it. I just think that's brilliant, because that's not how I think as a writer. I'm worried more about my characters and having depth
Yes.
than I am about the setting. But setting can help you when you're stuck 100%.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I'll go ahead and pull this last slide up here because I want to make sure that we get your links out there and
Yes.
you can plug yourself in. Let us know, where can we find you? Where can people find you? Where can we buy your books?
So like I said, I spend way too much time on Facebook. So that's where I post the most frequently. On my Facebook author page, I have a post pinned at the top of my page that has hyperlinks to everything. All of my Amazon author page, all of my other social media pages are there. So if you can make it to there on Facebook, you can find me. I also love TikTok. I spend a lot of time there too. I'm trying to get a little better at Instagram as well. I do have a Square store, and that is also linked in that link tree on my Facebook, and that's where you can buy signed copies of my books.
That's great.
Awesome.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
Yeah. And what kind of merch can we find again in your stores? What kind of merchandise stuff do you have?
So really just on my Square store, I have stickers.
Square store. Okay.
I don't generally keep like t-shirts and stuff in stock just because I have to guess on sizes and things like that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I try to I have stickers with my books that go along with the story.
Nice.
And the stickers are great. I think I have one in one of your books here. Yeah. Here, let me drop this screen so I can show it. We go together like chili and cinnamon rolls.
Yeah,
That's great. That's great. Very cute.
What?
Isn't that fun? Have you
Yes,
never had
very
chili
fun.
and cinnamon rolls?
Yeah. Jelly and cinnamon rolls. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you need to try it, Karen.
Mhm.
It's great together.
Oh my gosh. You're not kidding, are you?
No, that's a very
Oh
good
my
Western
gosh.
thing.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Well,
Very
we're starting to
cool.
wrap up here. It's time, guys. And Michelle, thank you so much. I don't know why you were nervous. You did fantastic.
Yes, it's really nice
great.
to meet you.
Yeah, that you're self-taught. So impressed with, because it put me on Canva and I can't do nothing. It's ridiculous. So good for you that you can do that on
Thank
Canva
you.
with your book covers.
Canva's
Thank you. It
fun.
was nice meeting all of you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. You'll have to keep us updated when you have new stuff come out too.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thanks
right.
for being here, and thanks for everybody for tuning in tonight. And we will see everyone soon. So good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.